Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to e-frag TV. My name is George. Today, moving on with the second match of the day, Iceland versus Slovenia. In the first match, we had Hungary versus Estonia. Estonia winning 2-0. The second map after 3 overtimes. But let's talk to our analysts and let's see what they will say about the upcoming duel. Switch.
Yep, I said in the first match I'm gonna go with a team that we already seen play, and I gotta follow the same logic in this game. We already saw Slovenia, and I think they can take on Iceland. Although Iceland had some really great results in the last year, thus they're in the second qualifying round.
Yep, Slovenia winning against Azerbaijan and United Kingdom.
Yep.
Iceland, we didn't get to see them so far, but your thoughts.
Well, I would agree with Switch. I think that Slovenia probably has this one, not just because we saw them play, but they have really good individual skill coming there. Savi, Gugi, Bomes, and those guys, like they have really good firepower in them. Speaking for Iceland, I don't want to bash them, but I don't really know any of those players. Yeah, they played. They played in the last year qualifier. 2 of them played last year, but I don't really
and
see
they had
them.
some pretty amazing results last year. Honestly, they won. They won in the qualifying round 1 against Albania, then won against Czech Republic, and in the groups they had some good results. They were able to take 12 rounds on Sweden, one against Bosnia, one against Belarus. Got all the way through the playoffs where they lost to France, the champion afterwards. Yeah. And they were able to take 12 and 10 rounds in that best of 3. So, I mean, all in all, the problem might be the like he said, 3 new players. So we'll see how they,
Yeah, they have 2 players from last year, but let's see the full lineup.
Sure.
Switch. Yeah.
I mean, for Iceland this year, we're gonna have Pali Bondi. I'm not sure if I'm, pronouncing it right, but there's that. Capping, Cruiser, Odge, and Ali. And out of these 5 players, Pali Bondi played last year,
And the Cruiser.
And Cruiser, okay. I found that only Pali Bondi played, but I believe you. And the thing is, he top fragged in like 9 out of 10 matches. 90% of the time, he was the top fragger for Iceland. The thing is, out of these 5 players, as far as I've seen, 3 of them can pick up an AWP: Pali Bondi, Capping, and Ellie. So that will be interesting to see. I think Pali Bondi will pick it up, but few of them play with that AWP. And I mean, if he can repeat anything from that he's shown last year, I mean, this could be problematic for.
If Pali Bondi top fragged 9 out of 10, I guess Cruiser is a player to watch.
Exactly, but
No, I know. I just guess Cruiser is a player to watch here.
Yeah.
In Iceland's lineup.
Of course.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
no, not really.
Yeah, no, not really. So Pali Bondi, basically.
Yeah, I mean, he carried them last year, and he's here again with some new guys. But we'll see if he can, make it work again. If they can again go to that group stage.
Yeah.
Moving on to the second team in this duel, let's hear a little bit more about Slovenia.
Yeah, for Slovenia we have the same lineup as the match against the UK. So we have Savi, Metafe, Gugi, Bomes, and IMP or IMP. So all in all, really great players. As I said, Savi, the standout player for Slovenia. I think he really performed well. In addition with Bomes, I think Bomes had a good couple of rounds against UK. Even though I wasn't here, I enjoyed his performance.
Kasan would call him Gomez with a B. Yeah.
Kasan.
Yeah. That's what he would say.
Yeah. And,
typical Kasan.
Yeah, typical Kasan, I guess.
And we have Matafe, Gugi, and IMP. All in all, really great players. They can step up when they need to, and they really performed well in both of those matches they played. So,
come on, I want to know what's funny. Come on. No, you're not gonna share it with me.
Off the
record.
Off the
record.
Just the
record.
name.
Sure. Okay.
So all in all, as I said, like pretty good lineup overall. They have pretty good players. Savi, as I said, a standout player for me in this Slovenian lineup. We saw what he can do when he's on fire, and he really performs well. I would really like to see them coming to group stages and to see what they're capable of there against some of the better teams. We'll have Sweden, Russia, and that kind of high caliber teams there.
Yep.
So it would be really interesting to see them in groups.
Slovenia has 4 or 5 maps behind them with the same lineup, and Iceland is basically playing together in this lineup for the first time. Can that be decisive in this duel?
Sure can, and not only that, we have 3 guys in Slovenia playing for the same team, Sevi, Matafa and Gugi playing for the overpowered. On the other hand, we have a 2-2-1 setup, I guess, for Iceland. They have Capping and Cruiser who play for War Monkeys.
War Monkeys,
Yeah.
I love the name.
Yeah, and Oj and Ali, they play for Vika, I guess, that's how you call it. And Palibondi, I mean, he's the best player, but seems like he has no luck finding
for
a
fun.
team.
Yeah, he's playing for fun.
So there's that. We'll see if War Monkeys are better than Overpowered.
Yeah, basically. Let's go straight to the veto. and-
Overpowered War Monkeys.
yeah.
I mean, maybe they can merge.
Yeah,
that would be a cool name.
Like
infected.
Overpowered War Monkeys.
War
I mean,
Monkeys.
like-
Okay, I wanted to switch it, but no.
Like infected in the nation, right?
yeah,
OPWF.
basically the same thing. Yeah. Okay, let's go to the veto. It's ready.
Looking at
Let's see the
Iceland's
maps.
looking at Iceland's matches last year, they really like to play Cash and Dust 2. On the other hand, we saw Slovenia. No, for real. We saw Slovenia banning Cobblestone twice in the first stage. So I'm guessing, there you go. For the 3rd time in a row, Slovenia really doesn't want to touch that Cobblestone at all. They're gonna ban that. We'll see what's the ban for Iceland.
Train. Oh, yeah.
Nuke. Okay. Well, Iceland straightforward. No nuke in the second banning stage.
Yeah,
but,
so we'll probably see for Slovenia banning overpass in the second phase because they go for overpass nuke kind of bans. So
and Slovenia.
Standard pick.
again,
Yeah, that was their pick against UK. It was Azerbaijan's pick when they played Azerbaijan.
Yeah.
I mean, I really like that they picked Mirage, not Train. That Train was
I hope
horrible.
they ban train or
We'll
overpass.
see.
Depends what.
And Iceland going for Dust 2. They played Dust 2 last year, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times?
Yeah.
So they played that Dust 2 a lot. Definitely a good pick for them. We'll see how it goes. Slovenia played that Dust 2 against the UK, managed to win that in the overtime. Like Rama
Train
said.
is still in the play.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
Still an option.
Iceland has advantage here. They can pick train if they want, like ban what's left.
Train and Cash.
Cash.
but the thing is, they played Cash also, so
Yeah.
Yeah, Cash will be the
Yeah.
last map if
I
needed.
didn't know that already. Not at all. And it's going to be Mirage, Dust 2 and Cash. Yeah.
Do you think Iceland had a chance to look at Slovenia's play on that train? And do you think if they did see it, they would pick
Yeah,
otherwise in the last veto?
I said that for Hungary, and their city side on call was.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
but honestly, in that match, like Estonia was able to just break their economy over and over and over again. So it really went bad for Hungary on the city side. But to answer your question, I mean, yeah, you can look at Slovenia and how they played, how they horribly played that train. But then again, if you're not comfortable on that map, you shouldn't really, you know, pick it just because your opponent had a bad day on the map. I mean. At the end of the day, they picked it. That doesn't mean that one map doesn't mean that they are bad on train.
This can really be an advantage for Iceland. I mean, Slovenia played Mirage already 2 times. Yep. 2 times, twice. If they looked at the replay, they could have seen what they're doing. So do you think Iceland is prepared for it?
I think they need to prepare for their city side, for Slovenia city side.
Especially,
Because their city side on Mirage is really good. Like Sevi with that AWP, like you can see him picking from, as we always talk about that boost from window into CPL and then picking short behind the smoke. They did that in the first match against Azerbaijan, if I remember correctly. And he really performed well. He was hitting his shots, and it was really hard for Azerbaijan to shut him down. The thing is, if Iceland keeps making the same mistakes as Azerbaijan did, like going for that mid control without any flashes, like for example, Azerbaijan threw that smoke for a top mid, that CPH smoke, and after that they went for mollies and stuff like that, but they didn't flash, and Sevi had a clear shot at every enemy coming his way. So it will be really hard for Iceland to shut him down because he's really versatile. Like he goes in the window, he goes on short, he goes from a connector. We even saw that boost from luminosity, that boost under window from underpass. Yeah. So they really have a good city side. If Slovenia starts on city side, I hope Iceland has something prepared for them because it's going to be really hard to shut them down.
So, but I just want to say that's the thing, especially on Mirage, Slovenia city side. I mean, yeah, you can look at it and you can kind of prepare it, but they were switching it up. I mean, all the time. It wasn't just one single setup that worked perfectly, so you can kind of counter it. The thing is, like he mentioned, Sevi was picking middle, peeking short, taking B control all on his own. So Slovenia was really switching it up, which I really like. Their city side was really good, so I'm not sure that you can really prepare for that. I mean, yeah, you can maybe get an idea what they are doing, what they're capable of, but you're not going to prepare when are they going to do what.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah,
you can
exactly.
just be prepared enough to expect different things from them.
And that's why a couple of players, like top tier players, fear of playing against Kenyas in his best. Like he was so versatile. Like you would maybe one round he will be passive, another round he will get in your face with AWP. So those kind of AWP players are really hard to shut down because of how they move around the map.
Change the positions. And
So it will be really interesting to see this first map for Iceland and Slovenia.
Again, we have 3 standard maps, like Cash does 2 Mirage.
Flashback.
Yeah, flashback Asian qualifiers. But
flashback TWC qualifiers.
Basically, yeah. When you think about it, But who do you favors this map? Who do you think it favors?
I gotta go with Slovenia, especially if they start from the city side. And I mean, I don't want to take anything from Iceland. I didn't actually see them play last year, so I don't know how good they are. But just watching Slovenia on their city side, okay, so it's not going to be the case. Iceland won the knife round, they're going to go for the city side, but still, I think this is Slovenia's.
Do you remember what was Slovenia doing on their T side when it comes to the pistol round? Can you remember? I'm just trying to remember what.
Yeah, I think it was an execute with smokes.
But on the A side.
Yeah,
the A side. I'm just curious to see if Iceland's going to be prepared for it if they do it again. So maybe we should pay attention to it. Okay, let's go to the predictions. Do you want to try it this time?
Yeah,
quadruple overtime.
Yeah. 28 to 26.
No, I'm gonna go with Slovenia taking this one 16 to, I don't know, 9, I guess.
Okay.
16 to 10 Slovenia.
16 to 9 and 16 to 10. Okay, since we have about a minute, since the game is going to start, this is just the right time to remind you about our giveaway. So, you take your camera or a phone, and you take a photo of yourself supporting your nation. You post it on Facebook or on Twitter, and leave a hashtag TWC2016. You can win, we have 3 places, and 4 prizes for each place. For first place, we have Bowie knife case hardened. For second place, butterfly knife vanilla. And for the third place, M4 Mecha Industries. For all 3 places, we have Mousepad TWC 2016 TWC jersey and Fate case knife replica. So a lot of prizes, a lot of gifts, presents, and so on. Switch. I'm just gonna say to you, good luck, because you're the one who's gonna be helping your colleague. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're ready. Slovenia versus Iceland, map number 1, Mirage. Your casters duo today, both of them beginning with S, Switch, and Scrawny. Let's go, guys.
Thank you, George, for handing it away. That's right, guys. Iceland versus Slovenia. To get the ball rolling here on Mirage, the map choice, of course, of Slovenia, and they're going to be tasked with the T side straight out the gate. So one can expect that, of course, since they're comfortable enough to choose this map, that they'll be all right on that T side. And I mean, the CT side of theirs being hyped up as well, I'm incredibly excited to see where this one goes, because I guess maybe the momentum here in the first half might not necessarily be indicative of who could potentially win. But Iceland straight here into the pistol. They're going to be grabbing 1 kit on odds, and as well as a smoke, but that smoke's already put down as Slovenia start to work their way towards B apartments. We've got a kill squad here as 5 players all group themselves up Ali's going to be making the point contact, and Savy in the front. As this smoke begins to fade, they're going to go for the push here. Savy already running through it. The bomb hot on his heels. Ali going to be falling back. This is a good position. He'll try to land some shots, dealing damage, but only grabbing one frag before Googie traces back. Now, all of a sudden, 4v4 as the bomb does go down. Bench being held, though, and Odds just going to be going wide here, finding the frag, looking for more. Again, just the CTs picking apart the offense here. They don't have cover, they don't have positioning, and that is all she wrote. A mere matter of frags for Iceland as they just chime in, chip away, and grab themselves the pistol.
Yeah, Slovenia, even though they got into the site 4-on-4, I think that missed flash from Matafe. He tried to flash kitchen or market or however you call it. He missed the flash. He flashed his guy in the forest behind the bench and didn't flash in the guy that was going for the peak after the flash. So that flash maybe could have changed around. Matafe slightly missing it, and it goes for Iceland. Well played for Iceland. 3 SMGs going into this round, 1 M4 and 1 FAMAS. And this time, Slovenia not going for the B. It's going to be the A side.
We're going to be setting up for nades at the time being, but still, for the side of the defense, capping, he'll be putting up next to that palace, but nobody coming his direction. Currently, everyone on the side of Slovenia sitting outside that ramp. And of course, the bomb is there as well, getting ready to push on forward. Now, this is a complete vanilla buy, as they did get the bomb plant. They're looking for round 3 AKs. What more can they add? Savy coming up towards the top of Tetris, not going to be dropping, capping with a bit of a delay here, but finally, he and Cruiser do combine forces, and that is a cleanup on the A site. Iceland just wreaking havoc, finding 5 frags without losing a single player, and that's going to be incredibly great for their economy.
Yep, great positioning by Capping and Cruiser, just having great positions, denying that bomb plant, denying even more money for Slovenia going into this round. Like you said, this is going to be a full buy round since they got the bomb plant in the first one. Capping with just a great position in the AFs, just denied that side of attack and was in a good position to take them down coming out of alley. This time, Slovenia on a full buy, they're going to go with a somewhat slower approach, take mid control, and then work from that.
Now, because they did get that bomb down in the first round, obviously that's why they've purchased up here into their AKs. But with this AK purchase comes a very strong lack of utility. I'm surprised that not another player at least bought maybe a Galil or an SMG to maybe just add a bit more diversification to this T attempt. But still, Slovenia with the rifles are going to be looking for the aim duels. And initially it'll happen, or at least start to, over towards A, where Savy finds the first pick from the top of Palace. He grabs the angle on Connector. That was very nice. Slovenia applying pressure to the bottom of Connector forces him directly into the crosshair of their teammates. Still, Cruiser waiting here on A. He's anticipating some sort of A-site split, but with capping inside Palace, hot on the heels of Savy, it's Iceland with a decent position here on the A site. Currently, Slovenia rotating back towards B, maybe throwing a wrench into the works. Odds is sitting up top of ladder room, again in a good spot to rotate, but this is really going to leave Ali to hold the site alone, and we saw in the pistol round he was just overwhelmed by the sheer force of the offense. It looks as though this could be the situation again. He's going to put the molly down to try to hold them back, but already Slovenia starting to push on forward, capping in Odds to find 2. The utility, an absolute massive hold, and another player dropped as Imp takes the shot to the face. Matafe, the last man standing, and already he's nearby, so he will find 1, but Ali having the drop on him currently. His position unknown, an easy refrag for Iceland, and despite the early AKs, Slovenia coming up short.
Yep, great big hold for Iceland, but I gotta say, Capping once again with a great positioning. Even though Slovenia got the kill from those AFs, he pushes AFs right behind Savy and gets all the info that they are not A. He cleared out ramp, he got 1 kill, and got all the info for Iceland that they're going to go to hit B. We saw 2 guys, no one was controlling mid, but because they knew it's going to be B. Had 2 guys there and won the round. This is going to be a straight anti-eco win for Iceland. No way Slovenia can take this one with only some upgraded pistols, P250s, and no Kevlar. So it's probably just a matter of question how many guns can Slovenia take down from the Iceland hands.
And they have found 1. Yeah. Palabonde was given a chance there, shooting into the gallery of the players on the bottom, but now Capping's got a read here. Slovenia trying to get tricky, trying to grab that weapon that was, of course, dropped, but that's ultimately what costs them their demise, as Capping had rotated over. With a good read, he anticipates that play, and it's going to be Iceland with another cleanup. So Slovenia, as expected, losing that round. Obviously coming in with just pistols, they weren't favored, but Slovenia now onto their rifles with an op in the hands of Savy. The same can be said on the side of Iceland. It's going to be Palabondi with that op in hand. He was, of course, called out by our analyst desk as being one of the players to watch with that gun. And Savy, however, taking him down first, making a statement for Slovenia as they find themselves in the 5v4 with plenty of utility here to still work with. The one questionable purchase is that Savy doesn't have a helmet. So one of these FAMASes, or even that F4, could very easily clear him up. Hopefully that won't happen for Slovenia as they found themselves in a great spot right now.
Yep, but if he's going to take that entry kill with an AWP and not have Kevlar because of it,
Yeah.
I would take that any time of the
course.
day. So great job for Savy. Even though he didn't have the greatest spawn for mid, he still gets that pick. And now Matafe, he's going to punish Capping this time for being slightly aggressive. And it's a two-man advantage for Slovenia. Now they're pretty much able to do whatever they want to do and execute. It seems that they want to go for A, although the C4 is dropped all the way in the B apps. I'm guessing Savy's going to pick that up and, yeah, go back to A. And it's going to be an A split. We see Imp is on mid. He's going to try and pinch that A side through connector, I guess.
Yeah, it's a very good spot, even if he decides not to go toward A, because if they do take down Otz, who is very aggressively sitting on the ramp, he's going to go wide, and
Wow.
he's given a chance, but Gugi, managing to save his friend, his teammate, and his own life, going to be clearing that out. Now, this is a good chance for the A site to be taken by Slovenia. Of course, that positioning from Imp will be given up. He instead does go back towards connector, but checking just window as Cruiser rounds the corner, it'll cost him a very clean headshot from here. Iceland at least finding a bit of damage, finding one, checking an eye on Savy. Going to be putting down a bit of lead, but not landing. Savy at 100, and still Cruiser tagged in that engagement. So the Molotov burning time and starting to force Iceland's hand here. Now this probably may end up in a save unless they do find some kind of window of opportunity quickly, but you can see Cruiser already starting to debate how much he wants to commit to this engagement and now falling off towards the top of the mid. So Iceland has to be cautious here as they are looking to save both of these weapons. Ali's in a much safer spot and still able to find a pick. Savy trying to cross back to save his own life. He actually goes down in return. Now they do of course retrieve that op. He will be fine. Their economy, Slovenia, still in a perfect spot as they do add themselves the first round to the board, but they're going to have to try and avoid that economic reset. 3 players surviving means that their cash will be fine enough to rebuy in this following round. But if you compare their economy to that of Iceland, you can see already the coffers have been banked upon. Iceland sitting on mad cash right now. Ali, he's sitting on 6.3, Cruiser with 5.3, and they just full invested into this one. So Slovenia not only need to get another round on the board to avoid their own economic reset, but also to start chipping away at the progress Iceland has already made.
Yeah, and even though their money is great, in that position 2v4, I absolutely agree with the call to save. You're going to save an AWP, utility, Kevlars, M4, so 2v4, there's no need to go for anything in that round. They even got the AWP out of Savy's cans, but his teammates were able to pick that up for him, and this time, again, Slovenia going for that mid control. This time they're not going to find any picks on mid, but still map control in favor of Slovenia, although Gugi is really passively holding that mid. I'm guessing he wants to work as a backstab on mid, since we see 3 guys, now 4, with him joining them, going for that A side.
Cruiser playing a bit of an off angle, sitting behind the default flank, keeping an eye towards the top of the connector. Now this allows Palabondi to keep eyes as well to support Palace, where we just have Capping going aggressive. Now we've seen his aggression inside Palace fan out for the Iceland team. And now this time though, Slovenia going to be falling back, looking to disengage from what looked like an initial A site hit. They will linger 2 players on towards the ramp though. This of course will keep the attention of Iceland here on the A site, while the bomb does rotate over. Now Gugi's still playing the top of mid. He hasn't made up his mind where he wants to go, but Imp pushing through the smoke's going to lose his life, and Iceland now in a 5v3. This is a great spot to find themselves in, although their utility lacks in comparison to that of Slovenia, but their players are much stronger as 5 versus 2 still standing. Iceland's looking good. Ali as well, keeping an eye on the cross here. Matafe is going to have to cross the window to try and get this bomb in. There's 10 seconds left on the clock, and it looks like Slovenia want to commit to this engagement. Matafe making a bit of room with 1 frag, but Savy not going to be able to prevent the bomb stop. Ali does actually, I'm mistaken. Savy not able to connect the kill, and that's going to prevent it from going through. Slovenia, looking to save that op, and they do. Savy lucky to escape with his life, and that was a commitment with very little time on the clock, nearly costing them, and it does.
Yeah, and Iceland once again, and I gotta say, capping once again, being really aggressive, but it pays off. Maybe he lost that one round being aggressive in the BE apps. They already had one man down in that situation, so you could say that was just play. But I mean, out of what, 3 or 4 times so far, his aggressive plays pay off for Iceland so far, and I mean, he just shut down that A push from Slovenia. In the start, getting the kill on, I think, Bomaz in the A apps and just getting all that control again, getting all the info. They tried at that point to go for some kind of a fake. It didn't work out, and another round for Iceland. Savy saved that AWP, so maybe he can do something in this round.
He's currently here inside the apartments looking for the angle towards the player on the van. But that currently is Ali, who's just waiting, and we've seen him do wonders from this position, rotating underneath the window, rotating back towards bench. He spots the hands of Matafe, so he's going to get aggressive here, and that's going to net him 1 frag. Very nice initiative to try to take the fight. Savy there in the smoke with the op, not going to be revealing his position, and that's smart. Slovenia not wanting to shoot that weapon until they're sure it's going to connect, because the second they find a frag, I'm sure we'll see them explode out here onto the site. Ali's still dancing around the angles, trying to find the drop upon them. Still, he does have support from bench as well. Ali from underneath the window, going to be finding 1. Looking for the second as he spots the barrel of the op. Savy to bring it back with 1. Again, his task is difficult. Palabandi on the op, able to refrag. Savy trying his best, does find 2 frags, but considering that Slovenia had gone into that with only that 1 op, it's not surprising Iceland are able to come up with another round, but still the economy now starting to play a bit of an issue for the side of Slovenia. They are going to be able to buy into this round, no worries there, but they need to start chipping away at the bank Iceland are building. They did for just a moment with the 1 victory in round 5, but again, it's starting to slip from their fingers.
Yeah, and we see this time no AWP on Savy. He did get a double kill that round, a nice second, I gotta say, but just wasn't enough. And yeah, stats are not all, kills are not all in CS, but Imp and Bomaz still sticking with the 0 on the board. I mean, you gotta chip in, you gotta help your teammates win some rounds. And this slow A push is not gonna work for Slovenia so far. Googie's gonna find, there you go, Imp finding his first kill, Googie finding a 1 on mid, but now it all backfires. They've been red, and now Googie's only alive. Ali gets a backstab from short. That slow and silent A push for Slovenia not working out, and another full buy round going Iceland's way. So far, Iceland's playing really well.
That A-site hold was really nice from Iceland, coming in from Capping and Cruiser. Yep. Capping sitting underneath the palace, the palace porch, spraying through, finding 1 frag, and then also dealing damage. That's the really nice part. And then even once those first frags go the way of Iceland, he remains dynamic, still keeps up the aggression, takes the ramp peak, just showing his superiority and finding frags all over the place. Well done with Cruiser to lay down damage as well. Now this round, Palabandi going to be grabbing 2 frags right out the gates. Of course, a pistol save from the side of Slovenia means that they should be cleared up easily. Cruiser, he will drop. Bomez able to find the trade frag as he gets a little bit too aggressive in towards connector, but that's 1 casualty thus far for Iceland, and a second. Imp, having worked his way up catwalk, finds the angle in towards window. Now this is a bit of map control also in the hands of Slovenia, with a weapon retrieved. 2 M4s in their hands and looking for an engagement. Ali gonna drop Bomez with a nice repeat here, and again trying to find the drop towards Capping because the CTs are currently split. 1 according to each site, and still trying to hold the defense or the offense at bay, but odds, the timing is going to work. Imp rounds the corner, and both players spot each other, but it's Iceland with the man advantage. Both players lit, and Bomez still sitting on 56 points of health. Now, 45 seconds on the clock as he attempts to cross on over. He will have to plant this bomb eventually, but he's looking to maybe equalize the numbers before he does so.
Yeah, Imp and Bomez getting into that site, but just Bomez just far enough not to be right there to refrag that there on B. Bomb is going to get a bomb plant here, and now 1v2. He has no Kevlar, but then again, they're pretty low on HP. Even lower now.
And he finds 1. Bomez connects it. Odds drop. Now it's all up to Capping. We've seen him do wonders, but with only 4 points of health, he's incredibly disadvantaged right now. He does have a kit, so he can play the time, and you can see him doing that now, trying to find it. Bomez with the timing, nails him as he does peek wide, and that will be Slovenia with another round up. That one coming off the back of a pistol round. So picking up those rifles elsewhere around the map, finding those frags really pays off for Slovenia. They managed to get a round on the board when they had absolutely no business winning. And that's going to do wonders for them because the money they saved while not purchasing in the previous round is what's going to cushion this buy. Rifles all across the board, plenty of nades to play with. This is a real chance for Slovenia to put another one up. Gomez is going to find the first frag with Imp chiming in as well. 2 frags for Slovenia over here towards A before Palabondi dunks a nade down. 3 versus 3 as CT gets smoked. We do have a rotation coming from Iceland, 2 players in that direction, with Palabondi still trying to hold the cross. Now, he's sitting, laying down some lead. He spotted the player in Palace, but it is a split coming up from ramp at the same time. A player on Tetris with that bomb, and a minute 15 here. So either team can disengage if they want to, but the utility coming in from the counter terrace is going to buy a bit more time. Savvy dink to 10. Again, this is looking sloppy, or at least kind of difficult for Slovenia. They can't find this exit onto the site. They don't really have the utility to grab it, but they'll find the frag. Imp with 1. Only 1 smoke left for Gugi here, and he's in a very bad position to use it. The Palace isolating him. It's really CT that they need to root out. We saw it in the previous matchup. So crucial of a position, but there's lots of time to play with here, so Slovenia, they're going to play it smart, rotate a player back towards mid. This allows them to take a different angle as they approach their way towards the site.
Slovenia, they slow down twice, and they force Ali because of this. They slow down. Iceland has no information that they are still on A, even though we see Savvy lurking here on mid. They're still with the C4 on A and the guy in the A apps, but because they're taking their time, they're so slow on the push. Ali here, he needs to find something. He's looking for something on B. He's not going to find it, and it's going to be an A hit. It's going to be a bomb plant. Savvy, even though he's only on 10 HP with that great lurk, kills Ali, and now it's all on Palibondi. We talked about him. He's the best player. Was the best player in the last year for them, but he gets his head blown off by Imp. And I just gotta say, I mean, seems like I called out Imp and Bomez. They had 0 frags like 3 rounds ago. Then Bomez with that quad kill. Imp with the triple kill in the last one. So this is looking much better for Slovenia right now. And like you said, Iceland, their economy is finally broken.
Yeah, this is a really good shot for Slovenia because they've managed to put themselves here against a weakened Iceland, and this one should be an easy one for them to convert. They're getting within that range of acceptable T-side score already, and we're only here in round number 11, so this is really their chance to kind of cement their performance before they switch over to the CT side, where we know they can do great things. So the real question was, how was Iceland going to defend on counter-terrorist side? And thus far, they had done well. But now Slovenia has a chance. They just have to capitalize on it. We have seen Iceland win rounds like this when they had no business winning. Slovenia winning rounds like this. So now Iceland looking to bring it back in their favor in the very same way. But currently mid is being looked at by Slovenia. 3 players on towards the top of it, and they will have Imp joining forces from the bottom of Underpass. We've seen Imp just sit here once they have this control and the bomb rotate elsewhere. So now that he does have this positioning, it's going to be interesting to see how Slovenia play this once they start to realize that Iceland really are on this save. They need the confirmation. And yet the mid push looks like it might come through. They're poising for the A split, and they would find the defense of Iceland shattered. Player on top of the ticket trying to lay down some lead, but he'll drop. That's odds dead, and Cruiser joining him. Capping still on ticket, trying to hold it, but his head goes down. And now this is all Slovenia's to take. 5v2, and only a couple P250s for the retake.
And Bomez is in a great position. He's going to take one, but checking the wrong corner, the wrong side. Palibondi gets the kill. Maybe he could have tried and saved that Halo AK, but he would have been hunted down, I'm pretty sure. But like you said, Slovenia with a pretty easy round gets the 4th on the board. Iceland once again on a full buy. This time no AWP for them. And what I like, Iceland you see that they're really focused. No head armor because they know that they're playing against 5 AKs. There's no need for that head armor. Just use that 350 to buy some more nades. As you can see, even though their money is not the greatest, they have some. They have a lot of utility actually. I mean, grabbing a smoke rather than a head armor, that could be pretty crucial. Just stalling the attack from Slovenia, or having an extra flash or an extra HE.
It is just simply one more tool to try and stop the opposing forces, right? So why not grab it? As you mentioned, incredibly intelligent. Just goes to show that Iceland are here to bring it today.
Yep.
And they're really trying to compete as competitively as possible. But still, Slovenia does have the advantage with their utility. They haven't expended very much of it, and we are just sitting now at the 1-minute mark. So Iceland just trying to hold back, patiently waiting. They too have been relatively good at conserving their utility, but they are down to mostly just flashes. Cruiser with a smoke and an incendiary now. So that little bit of a difference that they had been able to purchase into has at least bought some time as they've shaved the clock down. Slovenia not looking to force into the utility of the counter-terrorists, but still spread very thin across this map. Two players out here towards apartments starting to make a bit of noise, trying to maybe catch the attention of Iceland. Meanwhile, the bomb still in T-spawn has yet to make up its mind, but now it seems it'll head in the direction of the B site. Bomez is the point man, looking to get the shot to odds. Ali, again, has done wonders from this position, and he's looking to replicate it. Bomez to drop in. That's going to be the first frag. Both players combining forces to lay at odds, looking for more, but still he has teammates nearby to help out. The T-push coming. Gugi's going to be making it to Van before he drops Palabondi with a double. Now it's just up to Matafe, who comes out the window, but he too will die. A very beautiful hold here on the site from Palabondi with a 3K in the round, and that's exactly what Iceland needed. They held the line, they played it patient, and it pays off exactly to their favor, putting Slovenia back onto the back foot, be able to purchase, no doubt about it. So this is another good gun round for both teams, but still, Iceland just keeping Slovenia back, and they have to. We are in round 13, and this one is very close to being taken in the favor of Iceland.
Yeah, and if Iceland wins this one, they're going to break the economy of Slovenia, but that can go in the different direction, because if Slovenia wins this one, Iceland is going to be broken. So you could say this is a pretty crucial round, and at least in this first half of Mirage, we see Slovenia again taking mid control. But so far, I'm not sure if taking that mid control was that important for Slovenia winning rounds, as Iceland is able to just let it go Slovenia's way, and then just fight for that A site if they decide to go for that A split. Palabondi is gonna get some nice tag offs on Gugi, down to 34 HP.
I think one of the reasons that they've actually decided to give it up mid is that Capping's playing a very aggressive position out towards that A ramp, so they can actually afford to kind of give up the connector position when you do have Iceland sitting on the opposing side of the push, right? They would isolate them on the top of stairs, crossfire them down, and the same can be said about this defense on B. Odds behind the bench, Ali again playing his position just underneath the apartment drops, not getting aggressive and trying to grab that information, which we saw cost them a life before. Instead, just patiently waiting. Iceland is playing this perfectly. There's 30 seconds left on the clock, 10 players still standing, and Iceland needs to know that they did tag up at least one player mid. Cruiser on this off angle, again going to be working the same spot, and this time it does pay off, but Slovenia with the mid control, Bomez is going to be jumping into the window. Now this gives him a good shot at flanking the players from the CT spawn, but Captain will continue to hold the line here. The site is cleared as Imp and Savy land shots, find frags, and clear it all out. Savy not going to get the bomb down, and that's going to be the time currently in the favor of Slovenia. Do they have it? Do they have the plant? Just in the nick of it. Wow, that was close, and still Iceland tasked with the retake. Bomez in the 1v2. He has the AK and a full bar of health. All he has to find is these engagements. If he grabs himself a headshot and turns this into two 1v1s, this is all very possible, and he's playing around it, finding the angles. So intelligent. Bomez waiting as the bomb is tapped. They think he's in CT. He lines them up, but he doesn't land it. Only getting one. Bomez with an absolutely huge missed opportunity, and Iceland with a 9th round.
I mean, he played it really well. He tricked them into thinking that he's on the CT spawn, had the angle on both players. I mean, in that situation, when he spotted both of them, he's knowing that no one's defusing. They don't know he's there. He just could have backed back behind the box and just wait for them to go for a defuse. I mean, that's theory, but it's different when you're playing.
Yeah.
You could say unfortunate, but he maybe could have played that a little bit better. But you could say that as well for Savy and Imp. Although Bomb has killed Imp, and Savy planting in that position, even though he should have had the call from his teammates that they don't have mid control, they don't have short control, that he can be shot in that position, he still plants there, gets taken down. Slovenia, that round kind of slipped out of their fingers.
I think that one is pretty much gifted to Iceland.
Yeah.
2 crucial mistakes, and I mean, they just capitalize on it. Now it's going to be odds to hold the line. Again, Ali doing work from the back of this van spot. He has held these B pushes time and time again. Iceland doing a fantastic job of shutting that out over and over. 10-4 is the score. One last round here for Iceland on the CT side, and I would say Slovenia are really looking to grab it, because if, and only if, Iceland move on forward into the second half with the pistol round, then we're getting into a situation where Slovenia has very little wiggle room inside the gun rounds. And that's going to be an issue, because if they slip up once or twice, it's suddenly going to cost them the first map. Iceland doing a very good job so far of holding the line, and they'll be looking to do it again versus the broken purchase of Slovenia. They have 2 rifles, an AK and a Galil, with 3 upgraded pistols, but a decent amount of utility, and I like that. These pistol players not necessarily looking for frags, but instead trying to set up plays for their well-equipped teammates. Savvy and Googie, very capable of finding picks, but they need to be in the right spot, just like that. Savvy to find the first one, absolutely free. Palabandi pushing inside of apartments with an op alone, going down as Bomez grabs a second.
Yep. For I don't know what time Iceland was aggressive in those AAPs. Finally, they get punished by Slovenia. They still have a guy there in the AAPs on the balcony. It's Cruiser, but it seems that they want to fake it. No, Imp is going to just pick up the C4 and go back to A. I'm not sure what's the position of the guy in the B apps for Slovenia, but whatever. Bomez gets another kill from that connector. He had a nice Tech 9 kill, picks up an M4, gets another kill, and now 2 guys for Iceland on the CT spawn. I think Slovenia has a pretty good read, and they have Matafe, who's on a flank. He can as well hurry up a bit, but no need to rush. They still have enough time, 30 seconds to play. Bomez, oh, he's gonna get taken down here. Savvy has his scope on that jungle area. He's gonna get denied with that Molotov,
Yeah,
but
flanks.
here comes...
Oh no,
Here comes
he doesn't
Matafe.
see him.
What?
Oh! Ali! He's gifted a frag. Matafe coming in from the back of jungle, doesn't spot him whatsoever. Now there's only 10 seconds, and Imp's gonna have to put this bomb down. Odds in a very good position to nullify the plant, but he will get himself around the triple stack. He's incredibly lit, and the wallbang could land, but it doesn't. The bomb goes down. Imp will escape, and Odds tag, also sitting on 13 points of health. Another frag for Slovenia, and that will be a round on the board for them at the very last bit of the first half. Wow, what a play inside that jungle. Obviously looking like Ali was going to be taken down from behind. Seemed as though Slovenia was going to be in a 3 versus 1. Easy cleanup for the 5th round on the board, but then suddenly, somehow, someway, he doesn't spot the barrel initially. And then the close-range gunfight goes the way of the rifles. So
Okay, it's one thing to not spot him there, but his teammate Bomez was just killed from that position. I mean,
that's true.
how is it possible that he doesn't know that the player is there?
And they have a player inside Palace keeping an eye on
Yeah,
towards the
that
top of
too.
connector. So the only way he could have run would have been to connector, maybe stairs. Even then, he would have been spotted. So
Yep.
I guess he was probably as bamboozled as we were. Confusing situation, obviously, but luckily for Slovenia, they're still able to get the round, because that would have been a heartbreaking way to lose it, considering how they had already lost certain rounds throughout the half.
Getting 5 rounds on the T side for Slovenia, it's not like terrible. They maybe could have taken 1 or 2 more, but it's doable. But the thing is, they need to find a win on this their pistol city pistol round. They did this against, I think, UK. Pushing, just 2 guys pushing ramp. They're gonna get the info straight away. Bomez is now gonna spot a lot of players on mid, and they can probably guess it's going to be B. They already have 2 guys there, and Bomez is starting to rotate.
Davies trying to land some shots from Cat, but it will be up to the players on the site to actually hold this back. Capping, waiting to come in from Apps, and 2 players dropping on the site. Clean execution from Imp. Now, Ali having in, I was going to say, coming in from the flank, that's going to pose a threat, and especially as Bomez is caught looking the wrong direction. So Matafe in the pistol in the 1v3. Of course, if he can land some headshots, if he finds these angles properly, then he can make this one at least close. And he will spot 1, but the shot doesn't land until the second does. Capping, taking the engagement, taking the fight. He's going to be tagged, but Matafe caught inside the door, dropping now down to the site. 50 points of health. His capping's at 42. Ali's still incredibly healthy. He needs to find these kills because there is no kit in play, or at least not picked up as of yet. From the site, though, he gets one. Now a 5-second defuse. Still trying to bait out the peaks here. Capping going to be coming in from the door. Not down yet. Iceland doing a very good job of taking these peaks one at a time, but Matafe to find it. He connects. He taps. Still he waits, but Ali is not going to go down to the shots. Again, it's just a fight of the duels, and it will be Iceland to hold on. Very nice try by Matafe there in the 1v3. He tries to force the hand of Iceland, but they play it with ice in their veins. Keep it cool, keep it fresh, and grab themselves the pistol.
Nice. Nice round by Iceland, even though Slovenia had a read what's going to happen. And I wanted to say, Capping, he's a little bit slow coming out of that B house, helping his teammates that are attacking the B side from short. But as soon as he got from B apps, he got the double kill, so opened the B side open, wide open. And you can't say at that point that he misplayed. The timing was just right, I guess. Slovenia losing that second pistol round, I mean, 10-5, it's not bad, but when you lose the second pistol round, it starts to crumble under your feet, and now they need, I mean, if they can find a win here, that would be great for them in this round, but Sevi already going down, it's a 4v5 and they have pistols, they need some magic individual plays to make this work.
Google will get the chance, but instead Otts with a frag that's going to open up Cat wide, leaving only Matafei on the site to hold. Now, we saw him in the previous round try his best, but this time the pop flash not going to land. Enough to get Otts at least, but the repeat from Ali and verticality of that angle going to be favoring the side of Iceland as they do take down the B-site defense, leaving only Imp. Now, of course, we mentioned, right, 10-5, a decent scoreline, but the pistol now making it very precarious.
Yep.
Essentially, what's happened is that Slovenia's only chance of still winning this map is if they have a flawless CT side once they get into guns. Or, as you mentioned, some kind of crazy individual performance that tilts the tide of the scale early. If they find one of those unexpected pistol round victories, then this could very well become competitive sooner than thought. But if not, if Iceland continue to play this very methodically, then it is their game to win, or at least the first map. Imp will take down another kill. That's going to be decent, but he doesn't grab the gun in return, so he's afraid as he does run away, trying to save this Kevlar and the 5-7. Iceland looking to hunt him down by the looks of it as players just start pushing all across the map wildly, but of course they're willing to take this risk. They have 2 umps to lose, 12-5 scoreline, a 7-round lead. They're feeling very good right now forward, and still no weapons for the side of Slovenia, so their response will continue to be delayed.
Yeah, Imp saving that 5-7 and Kevlar. Let's see if he can do something in this round. They bought 2 flashes, so I'm guessing they want to stack somewhere. I think it's going to be mid-stack. Just flash over and try and kill anyone on mid, but the thing is, no one's there, and Iceland's going to get into the basically free A site.
Capping looking from Palace. He has been spotted from the top of stairs. That's Imp. At least just trying to lay down some lead here. These pistols obviously at this distance not that great, but they are within the round range of lethality as Palabandi jumps through. That's going to give a Mac 10 to the side of the counter-terrorists. Not a rifle, nothing big, but still at least one more tool to work with here. Ali also lit. The Cruiser and Capping are going to find 3 frags as Odds grabs the 4th. That's going to lead it just to Gomez, who does at least connect one more. So again, dealing damage to Iceland, forcing them to rebuy. But at this point, they're also just losing umps, so it won't be that big of a deal.
Yeah.
And they will move forward valiantly and happy with that outcome. So Iceland at 13 now. Slovenia still on 5, but that is the pistol round and the conversion points out of the way. This is the meat and taters of the segment, the gun rounds.
Yep.
This is really where things do come down to it. In Slovenia, they need to grab the momentum now from Iceland, break into the little bit of bank they already have rolling, capping on $8,000, and once that's cleared, it's their momentum to use it in order to come back into this game.
Yeah, this is a must-win for Slovenia since they lost that pistol round. If they lose this one, they're going to be broken once again, and Iceland is going to be on 14, so this is a must-do for Slovenia. They need to find a win here. We see they're kind of heavy towards mid. They have already 3 players from Iceland on that mid. Seems like Iceland wants to do an A-split. We saw a couple of those from Slovenia, but they didn't really work too well. They won a couple of rounds that way, but they were also shut down a couple of times. We see 2 guys in connector for Slovenia or around that connector area, so maybe they can shut this down for Iceland right there.
This connector push is going to be key, but there is still, of course, that player inside, Sevi just waiting, trying to catch them looking elsewhere, and they did for just a moment. The old bait and switch coming through, but Imp with the fire frag will at least take something for the counter-terrorists, who do find themselves in the man disadvantage. Now, Ali coming wide to the top of the stairs. He's not expecting a player to find him, but he does frag out, so 2v3 as Palabandi grabs another. They're starting to close their way onto the A site, but they need to clear CT, and they will with a headshot. Very clean fragging coming in from the side of Iceland. But again, 30 seconds, so they're going to have to deal with that. And now that they know where the last player is, it's an easy rotation towards B. This will be an easy bomb plant, and it should be very healthy for their after plant positioning. It all does come down to how quickly Matafei gets a read on this situation, but he won't find an angle, he won't find a drop. So he could very well be saving. We did mention, of course, that this is going to be round 14 for Iceland if they manage to hold the site. I'm interested to see if Matafei goes for this, if he gets confident enough to try to make this play happen, or if instead he hangs on to the M4 in the following round, because of course the economy for the side of Slovenia is not that great.
I mean, yeah, you're maybe right. They already planted on B. He has no clue where they are. He has no kit. I mean, it all says save, but then again, in this situation, it kind of feels that you gotta go for it because, I mean, if you lose this one, and they just did, it's clear that this Mirage is slipping out of your hands, and they're gonna go for a full buy, but 2 scouts, 2 FAMASs and an SMG. I mean, this is like the last chance, basically, the last train for Slovenia.
The previous round was their last real chance with actual M4s and plenty of bits of utility. This is their last ditch effort, so to say. And Odds and Ali with 2 already towards A. You can see Iceland just picking up the pace. They're not going to give any route to Slovenia, but try to force this round down their throat. Savy able to hold the line with that scout. That's going to be a good start for Slovenia, as they do still sit in a 2 versus 3. But the bomb is down, buying some time, and Palabondi's got to be cautious. He wants to plant for connector, but there's a player there. Again, these plant spots not the best because Slovenia can try to stop it from these peaks, but Matafei not going to go for it, and the device goes down. This one going to be favoring Iceland as they hold on to the site. The after plant positioning strong with 1 player in Palace and another on Tetris, but Savy from connector is looking to throw a wrench in the works, and he does with a jumping scout. That's going to be a great opportunity, a great opening. But again, these defensive positions from Iceland are so rooted into the site that Slovenia still have a very difficult job. Capping, thinking about going wide. He's being suppressed by Savy, but there's the frag from Cruiser. That's going to be Matafei as he tries to get to the site. At this point, Savy, go for it. The time's not working with him. He has no kit, and now he's dead. Iceland with number 15, and Slovenia nowhere to be found.
Yeah, 10 map points for Iceland. They deserve it, no questions asked, and I don't think Slovenia can. Maybe they can take a round. We see. I mean, they're forced to go for a full buy round after round, but it's a broken buy every single time. I mean, maybe Savy can do something with an M4 this time, but all in all, I think this is pretty much done and dusted.
One would expect, but again, at least still a decent halfway purchase for the side of the CTs. Again, like the nades aren't there. They're not. And the weapons, again, limited, but still the pieces of the puzzle are almost put together. In Slovenia, they just need at least to find an opening frag, and then they can use the man advantage and positioning to help them. But it all comes down to the first pick, and Iceland are giving them nothing. Ali being cautious here, just keeping a read over towards B and underpass, and then, of course, the emphasis of the offense is on the top of mid, with Cruiser already getting a little bit curious down towards the bottom of connector. Capping again, just waiting for the flank, and you see Slovenia's imp starting to get a little anxious, starting to push for information. And if he rounds this corner at the right moment, he could very well find the frag, but unfortunately for him, Capping just left. Currently, Iceland starting to grab the bomb, and this mid presence looking like a B-split. Now, if they do manage to find the B-split rolling, they're going to find Gugi inside the ladder, and he's lying in wait, able to grab the first headshot. Odds to tag, and he's scared to go for the repeat, but Gugi will be cleared out by Palavondi, who's here to help. So currently 5 versus 4, but the health of the T's is starting to drop. Here it is, Matafei and Bomez starting to put some damage down, starting to take it for the side of Slovenia, but it's brought back. Iceland with 2 more frags. Again, a 2v2, 30 seconds left. An incredibly close situation. Slovenia, this is a repeat story. We find themselves here time and time again, but Odds is incredibly damaged, and he's looking to take a fight versus Bomez. Bomez with the jumping scout. He's going to spot Capping. Capping dropping to grab it, and Iceland again taking it back. Slovenia trying their best, but their best doesn't seem to be enough. At least not as of yet. But Savy to find 2 in a mere matter of seconds. That's going to be the bomb defused, and Slovenia still somehow finding way in this game.
Yeah, Slovenia is clinging with their teeth onto this Mirage, but still 9 more map points for Iceland. I'm not sure that they can win 9 consecutive rounds to take us to overtime. Just Iceland is playing way better. You see that they're organized. They're there to refrag. Slovenia has so many mistakes on the CD side, trying some individual stuff, going alone, trying to defend the sites all on your own. I mean, Iceland is playing way better at the moment, and seems like they want to group up and go for B. And I think this is a good play, because you wouldn't expect all 5 players coming from A apps as quickly as they will come. They have some utility to stop them, but it's going to only be a smoke from Matafei, so this is a pretty clear effort for Iceland into the site, although Gugi finds a double kill.
Decent start, but still Iceland able to grab the bomb down, and Ali now from the position on top of the bench will keep the market suppressed. Savy eating damage from that AG. Now he's going to round the corner to no avail. Ali ready for the headshot, and that's a clean frag. Still Iceland holding on to the site as it is just down to Imp playing for the map here. 1 versus 2. Currently Balabondi inside apartments. He lands up that shot and finds the frag. So Iceland are going to be grabbing the first map. 16-6 the final score. And I really think this one, it came down to that very good start from Iceland on the CT side. 10-5 is a great spot to start. Grabbing the pistol just solidifies that early momentum, and from there Slovenia left with very, very wiggle room. So we will give the game back over to the analyst desk, guys. Let them unpack it for you before we head on forward into the second map. George, take it away.